2020 day 4. It's Ancient Explorers.
My name is Emily.
And I am Ben.
And what might our habitat be today?
Oh, I don't know. Should I give us some options?
I think you should give them some options.
Okay, can you guess? Is it A forest? Is it B, a desert? Or is it C, mountains?
Oh, have a little think. Okay, shout your answer out. 1, 2, 3. Yeah!
You
Nailed it!
It's a desert. Now, we've already explored a jungle. We've already explored
The ocean.
and yesterday we explored space. I am intrigued to see all of your activities, all the crafts, what you got up to at home yesterday. So, shall we have a look?
We should have a look.
So good, thank you for sharing them with us.
We love seeing what you're getting up to. Now, Benji, I'm getting that day 4 kind of lull.
You're feeling a bit tired.
Yeah. It's all a bit samey.
So you know what we should do?
What should we do?
You never regret a workout.
You never regret a workout.
So let's have a bit of a warm up.
Let's go.
Let's add some actions. Well done, everybody. I especially liked our insect walk.
I feel like that warm-up is getting longer and longer every single day.
You know what, Emily? I can guarantee it is.
It is.
That's because we keep adding actions.
Whose stupid idea was that?
Katrina's.
Okay. What we got next, Ben?
Well, next up, I'm going to have a little look. Oh, yes! It's time for our action song.
Oh, brilliant. Don't forget, can you spot your friends? Can you spot your favourite leaders? Give them a wave, make sure you've got cameras ready, and let's do our action song.
Yes.
What's this?
This is our game today, Emily. It's called Coaster Flip. So if you want to join in at home, you need some coasters from around your house, preferably ones that won't break. So I've got some wood coasters here. I'm going to put them on a flat surface and I'm going to try and flip and catch the coaster. Like that. And every time I succeed, I'm going to add another coaster and try and flip. So this time I'm trying to catch two. Ooh. Yes. So now I would put a third one on, and so on. I've got a minute to try and build up my pile as large as possible.
This could get very difficult.
It could get very difficult, and it's going to, I feel.
Okay, so the idea is to see how many we can get up to by the end of the minute.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, would you like to go first? Since you're already in the chair.
I would. It's nice to do one that's sitting down.
Excellent. Ready?
Yes.
You've got one coaster ready?
One coaster.
3, 2, 1, bam!
To 4 successfully, so 4 is my score.
Need some support from home, guys. Make sure you're trying it as well.
Right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
So I never actually caught 3. My score is 2.
I'm so sad for you. Yay, I win! That means it's 2-all.
Oh, we couldn't have planned that better. Tomorrow will be the tiebreaker.
Will be the decider. Thank you for playing.
Thank you for playing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, it's time to meet our ancient explorer and to have a closer look at the Bible.
Hello and welcome back to exploring and taking a closer look at the next bit of God's big story. Now when you have a problem, I wonder what it is you do. Look at the options that are on the screen now. Which one of these would describe you? I think if it was me, it would probably be getting worried. When I have a problem, that is what happens. I get really worried. And there's all sorts of problems, aren't there, in our world, and they need to be solved. So look again at the screen. Which of these problems, how would you solve them? What would you do? How do you solve these things? Take 20 seconds and try and work out what it is you would do in each of those scenarios. Well, we've seen, haven't we, how there are big problems in our world. We've seen the problem of sin, how it entered the world and how it infected everything. We've seen that God can't ignore it, and we've seen that He is also the God who keeps His promises, and He has promised to rescue us. So today we are going to look at how He rescues us. And to do that, I've got 3 things to tell you. The problem, and I want you to put your hands on your head like this. The solution, give me a thumbs up. And the good news, I want you to cheer like you're really, really happy. So the problem, the solution, and the good news. Brilliant. First of all, we're going to look at the problem. Now the problem was Moses was living in a desert, a bit like this one. He was in a place called Egypt. Can you say Egypt? Perfect. And in Egypt there lived a really mean king, and he did not like Moses and his people. The thing was though, that Moses' people was not just 1 or 2 or a few families. There were lots and lots of people, and all of them, they lived all across Egypt, and all of them were kept as slaves. Let's read in the Bible now what the problem was. Read along with me of these words. The king made them into his slaves, and he beat them, and he made them work harder and harder. Oh dear, it was a really sad time to be one of God's people. There was a big problem. We see here how sin had got even more out of control. People were still being hurt. They were slaves in Egypt. So what did they do? Well, read with me. The Bible tells us God's people cried out to God to rescue them. Sin was the big problem. People were desperate. So what was the solution? Give me a thumbs up so I know you're with me. Excellent. Well, the Bible tells us when we take a closer look, we see that God heard them. He knew there was a problem of sin and He was ready. Now was the time to come and rescue them, to solve this problem. And so He sent Moses back to Egypt. And when he got there, he told Moses to tell the mean king to let his people go. But the mean king, he thought, no, I'm not getting rid of them. These people do my work. I am the one in charge. But remember, God was on the rescue plan. And so He sent lots of plagues to tell the mean king that he was in charge. All these awful things started happening that the king had no control over. But the king was stubborn and he shook his head and he said, no, they're not going. Until the very last one, the most awful one that happened, where the firstborn son of each family would die. We see again that God had to punish sin. We see again that God will not ignore it. But we also know that God is working out the solution right now. We see that God wants people to be safe. He wants to deal with the problem of sin and rescue His people. And there was a special way He was going to do that. Let's play a game to help us understand it. I'm going to put up some different scenarios on the screen, and I want you guys to take a closer look and to work out, would you swap these things? So they'll all be on the screen. Take 30 seconds now and work out, would you make these swaps? Well, I don't know about you, but I would definitely make some of those swaps. For instance, I would swap lockdown for a holiday any day. Wouldn't that be amazing? I bet you all wanted to do that. And well, in our story, in our true story that we have seen today, God provided a way for people to be rescued. It was the great swap. This was the solution. Read with me what God was going to do. God told his people to take the best lamb, to kill it, and to put some of its blood on their front doors. When God passes over your house, Moses explained, God will see the blood and know that the lamb died instead of you. God was going to keep his people safe. The lamb died instead of the sons in that house. The lamb died so that they didn't have to. Inside that house, because the lamb had died, because the great swap had happened, people were kept safe. God rescued his people, and the next day, the mean king said, yes, let your people go. They can leave Egypt. God's rescue plan had worked. So we've looked at the problem, we've looked at the solution, and now, give me a little cheer, woohoo! We're looking at the good news. Now you might be sitting there thinking, well yeah Katrina, that is great. Those people were rescued. But why is that good news for us? Why should I be excited about this? Well, because when we take a closer look at the story that God is telling us, he says that this was a picture, it was a sign that would point forwards to an even greater rescue that was coming. Let's read about it. God's people would always remember this great rescue and call it Passover. But an even greater rescue was coming. Many years later, God was going to do it again. He was going to come down once more to rescue his people. But this time, God was going to set them free forever and ever. The problem was sin. The solution was a swap. And the good news is that the even greater rescue has happened. It was God sending his son Jesus to die on the cross for us, to do the greatest swap, the death that we deserved because of all of our sin, because of all of the times that we ignore God, that we push him away, that we say we don't care about him. Well, Jesus came and took that punishment on himself. He died instead of us. That is the good news that we celebrate today. There's always been a big problem of sin, and God has never ignored it. And we can be confident of that because God has sent Jesus to die instead of us. And just like back when Moses was living in Egypt, all his people were kept safe in the house where the blood of the lamb was over the doorposts, we too, if we trust in Jesus, we are kept safe because Jesus has paid the price for us. We are safe knowing that we can be friends with God forever and ever. Well, isn't that amazing? That is the end of our true story today, of our exploration, of us taking a closer look at the Bible. Come back tomorrow and join me for the very final bit. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you again to our ancient explorer for helping us have a closer look at the Bible. I'm really enjoying delving into these stories. They're so amazing, and we learn so much about God. Now, if you'd like to learn even more about the Bible, even more about God today, you can go to our website, summerclub.co.uk.
You can, and on there you will find more games, more crafts, more sports, more songs, a memory verse. I mean, there's a plethora.
There is. There's loads to choose from, and if you give it a go, remember to send us a picture or some videos of you doing the activities, because there are prizes to be won. Costa vouchers or Carter vouchers, or even some free fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
Yummy.
Oh.
Make sure you send them in to the email that's appearing on your screen right now, summerclub@lutterworthchurch.org. We'll pick a favourite and announce the winner tomorrow morning at the 9 a.m. video.
Great. Well, we'll see you in the morning for our next habitat.
I've enjoyed the desert.
I've enjoyed the desert.
It's been a bit warm.
I'm quite sweaty.
Yes, we should go and get a drink, really. I'm parched.
Okay,
Yes.
We're going to get a drink. You do those activities and we'll see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Bye everyone.